Hello, everybody, and welcome to the March 24th Trips and Traps. I'm Andy Serling, joined by Eric Donovan.
We have 5 races to bring you this week's Trips and Traps. We'll start off with the first segment, which is we'll have 3 races, and we'll start off with March 16th. That was Wednesday, race number 4. We're going to look at Devilish Dew in the 7,500 claimer.
Thought this was a situation where overall an unaggressive ride really cost this horse. Now, you see right here, and there wasn't a ton of speed in this race. Devilish Dew immediately has an advantage, and without being overly critical, and it's something you don't want to give up your advantage. Devilish Dew has speed. He's not a dead closer, and it's like the rider couldn't wait to take him out of position.
Yeah, I mean, from the point of the break on, I think you're just supposed to go with it, especially if you're going to be put into an inside chasing position, and where he is right now in the half-mile pole. I think eventually things actually don't work out too badly here because neither of these 2 speed horses, the 7 or 8, go on to win. Not in a terrible spot here, but still, this horse would have been much better served on the front end.
Yeah, I actually disagree because you watch the rider. He's riding so tentatively. While you're right, the problem is where's he going, because he's got this guy here, that guy here. They're like in the 1.5 to 3 pads, so they're kind of, everybody's sort of blocking him from making any kind of move and getting suckered into that inside move. Well, yeah, if it really opens up and works. Well, it doesn't work at all there. He gets completely shut off on the inside, and now you've got a horse that's just completely in a jackpot, and he's left in no man's land. I'm not saying he would have won, but he was never given any chance to do the kind of running he might have been able to do.
And to take a look at me when we went back to around the turn there, when we paused and you saw the 3, the winner, the cup shooter, he was behind Devilish Dew at that point where we stopped it there, and he's able to quickly make that move around the outside just because of what you said. The horse that we're looking at, Devilish Dew, was trapped out inside because there were horses outside of him and in front of him.
Yeah, and your point early was a very good one about when you're inside, the impetus to have to establish your position. Yeah, if he breaks to an outside post and you want to sort of check out where the other guys are going, it's much easier because you won't get into a bad position. But when you're inside, you do have to dictate things, and here's a horse who was given an advantage. Devilish Dew was claimed out of this race. We'll see where he goes from here. Wherever he goes, just take advantage of any kind of good position. It's also something, I think, from a race-watching view, whether this horse does well again in the future, it's something to think about in general in watching races. Do horses take advantage and use their position to their advantage?
All right, second race of this first segment. We'll fast forward to a Friday, March 18th. Race number 3 is a maiden claiming race, 20 down to 18, 6 furlongs. Looking at the 5 Mataurus and the 4 Richie's Rocket.
Yeah, now you could see at the start, and we'll show the head on later. There are the 2 horses right there. Richie's Rocket broke a little slow. Mataurus didn't break slow, just stumbled extremely badly at the start. And boy, Mataurus, I bet the winner of this race, and this is one race you can say, I got lucky.
Yeah, I would say so. Mataurus runs a heck of a race in here, and they're both toward the back of the pack. The horses we're looking at now, actually, Richie's Rocket drops back to last as Mataurus starts to move up a little bit. But Richie's Rocket's going to put in a wide move and really make an impressive effort here around the turn. And we see Mataurus still running back in 5th here, and the eventual winner of this race, Black Diablo, is just sitting in the 2nd spot right now in the Blue Silks here as they run around past the 3/8 pole, and we'll see the 4-horse Richie's Rocket get back on the screen shortly here.
Yeah, I think having speed was a good advantage, and it's a good aggressive ride in the winner by Mike Luzzy. You've got Mataurus sitting here, and Richie's Rocket commences a rally right now and makes that big sort of 4-wide move, and I like to see a little kind of move like that from a firster. He's no killer, none of them are killers, but I thought that Richie's Rocket ran enough here. Now Mataurus is like blocked between horses. Richie's Rocket on the outside, Mataurus back there, so now a horse is in a complete jackpot again. So just like everything happened to this poor horse, luckily as Richie's Rocket will drop off a little bit here, and he's kind of green, he comes through and puts a little run at the end, but geez, Mataurus should have won this race for fun.
Yeah, consider the trouble at the start and the trouble that we just showed there in the stretch. Mataurus really easily should have won this race. A horse that has run all 3 times for 20,000. I'd imagine that this is the kind of spot you'll see him in again next time.
Yeah, Mataurus is okay. We'll just show you that start again, and you can see the 5-horse. I mean, there's Mataurus just stumbling really, really badly. And you gain a lot of respect for the rider sometimes just being able to stay on these. In fact, there's a horse running, I think, Saturday, a Kieran McLaughlin horse that just stumbled as badly. It's amazing. I think Channing Hill rode that horse. Amazing he stayed on.
If anyone gets an award for this winter staying on horses at the start, it's got to be Junior Alvarado. It seems like about 4 or 5 of them he's managed to stay on.
I agree. He would be a great rodeo rider as well. He's had a good winter here, but when Junior has that situation happen again, I'm going to be wondering what role he's playing in it.
We'll move on to our final race of this first segment here. This is race number 5 from Saturday, and we're going to take a look at Crepa Sucre, who was off a long way off in this race, taking a dropping class.
Yeah, Crepa Sucre was a horse that Eric liked, and I sort of laughed under my breath at him. And it's not just that he should have won this race. It's not even close. But because, first of all, getting back to this, okay, he has that problem at the start. This is where the race was lost more than the problem.
Yeah,
What is the point of this?
Yeah, he's going to go up and chase 4 wide into the first turn here when he could have easily been sitting, you know, in the 6th spot, maybe behind that second flight of horses there, tucking into the rail or even just off those horses' flanks. But not only are you going 4 wide around this turn, you're still making an aggressive move toward the lead here, which is taking more energy away from you.
Right, you're losing momentum, you're losing it's just, you know, I feel like a broken record, and maybe I am, but watch Ramon Dominguez. When something lousy happens at the start, the last thing he'll ever do is panic. When you panic, and this seems like a panic, it's never going to work out for you. It's never going to do it. So he's got a horse that's now on a complete 4-wide chase here, and geez, Crepus of Prey, who took a ton of money in here. I mean, he was bet like he couldn't lose, and without a bad start, he couldn't lose.
Yeah, no, we'll see about right here. You know, Crepus Sucre turns up the pressure on the eventual second-place finisher onto the next one here. I mean, you could have been okay sitting in this spot, or maybe just a little bit back off. But you know, Crepus Sucre goes on with it here, and these two are now head and head past the 3A's, Paul. Yeah,
I mean, he makes this move, and he's practically in the lead as they head to the top of the stretch. And it's not even like he tires that badly. He doesn't. What does he lose this race by? A couple of lengths, 2, 3, 4 lengths in here. Yeah, and I mean, you take the break and everything that happened. The problem with Crepus Sucre is this was the day to cash on him. The next time he runs, everybody saw this trouble, all these things. Is he going to win next time? Probably.
Well, I'm not so sure that this was the day to cash on him because he was so heavily betting here. I can't see him getting bet more next time. I mean, depending on how the field looks like. I mean, everyone was on board this time here, and there's Crepus Sucre who's you know trying to go on with it here and eventually get beaten out for the show spot by Miami Hammer.
And the winner gets a perfect trip sitting on the rail, sitting behind the duel. And the second horse was the inside dueler. So everybody who was in the inside and there benefited the most. Crepus Sucre had nothing happening. You were lucky because he was an international good thing, and he ended up going off at 5-2. So you didn't lose your money on him because I laughed at you for making him 5-1. If he had been that price, it would have been sickening. Anyway, we love to get your thoughts, and we've gotten some good thoughts lately for sure. Trips and traps at NYRANK.com.
Come on back for the second segment.